What's up, y'all? It's Andrea here at VW Family Farm, and it is Azure standard order time for me. I thought you guys might enjoy seeing what we ordered, maybe give you some ideas if you're going to place an order. And I just wanted to tell you a little bit about why I order from them. And then after that, that's just a short part of this video. I want to talk to you about debt. So let's get going. I didn't order a whole lot this month because I didn't need a whole lot. This year for us has been eat our own food. We're trying really hard to eat out less and to eat from home and just eat things that we produce here on our homestead, or even if it's groceries we buy, just trying to eat at home. It's difficult, and I'm not going to say we've done perfect because that would be a lie, but we are trying to give it an effort for health as well as for budget. So Azure Standard, I've told you before, is who I order groceries from a lot. Let's get to what I ordered. I ordered this month some unsweetened vanilla almond milk. So I also got two original. Those were vanilla. Both of these are unsweetened. Nature's Bounty organic russet potatoes. We're to the point in the year that we're out of potatoes for all intents and purposes. We have tons of sweet potatoes left. But as far as for white potatoes, they've either sprouted or usually by this time of the year we're out. And so it's just a few months before we have a fresh batch. But because our potato harvest wasn't that great last year, I wasn't able to can a whole lot of our homegrown. So potatoes are pretty cheap, so I just bought some to get us through. Okay, this right here. If I quit ordering from Azure Standard today, which I'm not, this is the thing I would miss the most. This is one thing that will keep me their customer, even if nothing else, even if I'm not ordering anything else. It is their coconut oil. It's the best coconut oil I have found. This is the expeller pressed, which basically means it doesn't have that classic coconut smell and flavor. You do not have to get expeller pressed. You can get the virgin coconut oil and you'll have that classic coconut flavor to whatever you cook. Some people like that, some don't. Some like it in some things and not others. But I love this coconut oil, whether it's expeller pressed or whether it's the virgin coconut oil. It's really good. I've actually ordered 5 gallons at a time before. I've used this in my soap. I have people that request that coconut oil soap because it makes the best soap. It lathers so well. It's organic, so you're not only eating organic, you have organic soap to put on your body. It's just, I love this stuff. It's so good. It's consistently good. Every container I bought has been really good. So I was actually going to order 5 gallons of it, and they were out of the 5-gallon bucket, so I got 2 gallons to get me through. Also some stevia. Ben loves stevia drops in his coffee, so I bought this brand. I bought Sweet Leaf brand from them, several different brands of just plain stevia. They have all kinds of flavored stevia as well. Ben just prefers the plain. I actually got 2 of those because I don't order every month. That's the beauty of it. If you don't need things that month, there's no, you're not signing up for anything. There's no membership or anything like that you're going to get charged or that you have to place an order. It's not like that. You just order when you want. All right, last few things I ordered. I ordered some of these Enjoy Life. I really like this brand. These are chocolate chunks. Emily's really into baking, and every once in a while she likes to make chocolate chip cookies or just things like that. So I ordered her a few of those to bake with. I've also ordered Azure Standard's brand of chocolate chips before, and they're good as well. Last couple things I bought. This is definitely a compromise food, so let me put a disclaimer out there. But I ordered a couple bags of these Kettle brand chips. And they have all different flavors of these. These are sour cream and onion, but they also have, my favorite is the salt and pepper. And they're very, especially like the salt and pepper, they're a really basic chip. So if you're gonna eat chips, and those are definitely to me something I don't want to do on a daily basis, but every once in a while we do like some chips. And so they are pretty basic. They're just potatoes, some oil, and some salt and pepper. And then these are our absolute favorite chips. These are something I try to keep on hand. They are made out of organic blue corn. We really like these. They're super crunchy and kind of light. And we really like to have these, like, we'll have a nacho night or a taco salad, or you can call it whatever you want. But we eat that quite often, especially when it gets to be busy work time around here, and all we have time to do at night is maybe brown some meat. That is a quick meal for us. We can throw some garden lettuce in with it and tomatoes, and you've got a really good, pretty healthy meal, especially if you go light on the chips. But this is definitely our favorite brand. It's Garden of Eden. They're really, really good. All right, so let's talk debt. You might be thinking, what in the world does that have to do with your Azure Standard order? But I wanted to mention what I get from Azure Standard, because that is one of the ways we are working to get out of debt, is by buying our staples and our groceries that we can't grow here on our farm through them. It gives us the healthy options that I wanted, the brands that I was looking for in the store, but at a cheaper price. And there's always a link below to them if you want to go check them out. You don't have to buy anything. There's no obligation for you to shop there, but you can go look around, check them out. But I found them a few years ago, long before YouTube, and so that's where I've been buying staples for a while now. It helps me save money several ways. It keeps me out of the store, so I don't go make impulse purchases and buy things that I don't need. It helps me buy ingredients and not processed convenience foods, which that takes some getting used to. Even for kids, sometimes they want something already prepared and not something that has to be cooked. So, but that is one way that I have cut our grocery budget way down, is not buying prepared foods, but buying foods that we cook at home. It also just keeps me out of going to town, period. We live quite a ways from town, but even if you don't, even if you live smack dab in the middle of it, if you go out on a shopping trip, that means you're spending money. And so by ordering our groceries once a month, it has kept me from making those trips to town, which turns into here, there, and everywhere spending money. So let's talk debt. I want to share with y'all pretty much our story on debt. So here it is. I'm opening myself up, being really raw and honest with y'all, because everyone has a story, and I just wanted to share with you where we're coming from on debt. Now, a lot of you, we've become really close through this YouTube thing, but y'all don't really know like everything about us. So I think a lot of people look at us and think, oh, they've got land, they must have money. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Just because someone leaves you land does not mean that equates money. Unless you're going to go sell all that land or something, I guess that could. But Ben's grandpa worked hard for the farm that we live on, with the understanding that we would not sell this farm. So, which we're totally in favor of. It's such a gift that we've been given, along with Ben's brother and his family and my mother-in-law. You know, we all, it's not mine and Ben's farm, it's all of our farm. So I mean, we're thrilled with that, to have a family farm to pass down to the future generations. But that didn't just start generating income for us from the beginning or anything. It wasn't like we were rolling in the dough. We've had our hard times. We've had many times throughout our marriage, especially early on, where I'd go buy groceries on a credit card because we literally had no money to buy groceries. It was either put them on a credit card and hope that we could pay for that with the next paycheck or whatever. I really didn't even think that far ahead. I just knew we have babies, we need groceries, and I just got to go buy them. I didn't think about debt that much. Like it didn't, I didn't sit around and let it bother me that I was putting things on credit, because it was just how it was. We had to do it. There's been times that the bills kept coming in, but the money was already gone. We've lived paycheck to paycheck many times. With me working, and then after I had the kids, if you're a woman working that doesn't have a full college degree, and some even that do, sometimes women just don't make the money that men make. So that was one of the deciding factors in me staying home with the kids, was that it was just going to cost us so much money for me to work, to send kids to daycare and all that. So it was what we wanted to do, as well as it just made sense financially for me to stay home with the kids. So fast forward a couple of years, we build a house, and we're already in debt for vehicles and all that, because it's just I guess we just didn't think it through enough to think about, do we want to go in debt for these things? We just did. So now here we are, 2 young people. We're in debt for vehicles. Now we're in debt for a house, 2 babies. It really looked like we were going to be in debt pretty much for the rest of our lives. I was not super frugal back then. Even though we didn't have any money, I didn't like have any sort of a plan, I guess you would say, to try to pay off our debt. It just felt, I just didn't really think about it that much at all, because it kind of felt like it was just so big and overwhelming. I just didn't give any thought to it, I guess you'd say, of trying to get out of debt, because it seemed really insurmountable. Until finally we were able to pay off one of those vehicles and eventually both, and things just started clicking with me, and I just became more of a budgeter and a planner. And I started, even though I stayed home with the kids, I started making money myself, doing things here at home. And just things started just clicking together that, hey, you know what? If we budget this right and we really buckle down and we quit eating out as much and we quit just blowing so much money on Christmas presents and just all the things that people make you feel like you have to spend loads of money on, we really could do this. We could even pay off this house in a lot more timely manner than we originally thought. So that is where our debt-free journey kind of begins, is when that fire got lit under me that, hey, we can really do this. I think Ben was the one out working. He kind of always wanted to, but I was the one that really had to kick in. It takes a partnership to get out of debt. You can't have one that wants to get out of debt and one that wants to spend money. You have to both be on board. So that's when I really started planning, and I think you have to have a plan to ever make any real headway. And so a couple years ago, we paid off our house, and we were completely, utterly, no strings attached, debt-free. A lot of people say they're debt-free except for their house, and that's awesome. Kudos to you. But I really wanted to get completely debt-free, even my house. I told Ben it just felt good that even if they can't take our house, now they might could cut our electricity off at some point, but we'll have a house to live in. We can put a wood stove in, or who knows, whatever. But so we were completely debt-free. And then we decided we went into the cows pretty big, or we knew we were going to. I'm sorry, let me back up. And so we knew we needed a farm truck, so we bought a truck, and here we are back in debt for this truck, and it just ate me up. I thought, what in the world? We were completely out of debt, and now here we are back again. So there we went again. We had to buckle down and paid that truck off, and we did. We paid off a truck in just about, I want to say it was about 1.5 years. We paid off a 5 or 6 year note for the truck. So we were out of debt again, free and clear, until 1 year ago we bought the herd of cows. And we never shared with you how we did that. We titled the video, "We Just Spent the Kids' College Funds," or something like that. But we actually took out a note on that as well. And so here we are. It's been a year. We've paid off quite a large chunk of it, but we still have a little bit to go. And so this 2020 for us is the year to get out of debt completely and stay out. Ben and I are on the same page about it. This is the year. I don't know how many conferences you'll actually see us at this year, because this is a year we buckle down. We quit spending needless money, going here, there, and everywhere, and we try to really pay this debt off and stay out. And so I want to give you a few little tips before I sign off. That's our debt story. That's raw, real, honest life where we are. And I've put a pen to the paper, even if we're completely out of debt, what it would take to just live and exist, and feed ourselves and all that kinds of stuff, buy gasoline, things like that. It takes quite a bit of money, guys, just to live, not to mention if you have debt. So I just thought I would share some tips with you, how we've been able to do it, how we plan to do it again, and that kind of stuff. Number one is, even if you're a stay-at-home mom, there's lots of things you can do for your family to bring in some money. Now, I'm not saying you have to. Being a mom, wife, homeschool mom, farm mom, whatever, all those things, those are full-time jobs in themselves. So don't think I'm saying you have to do these things. These are just things you can do. Number one, if you have a passion, like there's a lot of women that have been super successful selling things like essential oils. I think you have to have a passion and a belief in those things for that to ever work, or people will see straight through it. I do love essential oils and I use them. I'm not a seller of them, but I do think, you know, I do believe that they do work, and that's something you could do. My things have not been like multi-level marketing things. My personal things that have been successful for me are taking my passions, like soap and lotion making, milking cows. I love cows. I love my time with my cows in the morning. Things like that have been able to generate income for us, and I enjoy doing them anyway. We try to sell enough eggs. We raise pork, but we also sell pork. We sell beef, things like that. So those are all ways you can generate income. Another thing, stay out of stores, because it is so easy, so easy. They design packaging, they design clothing trends and shoes and all those kinds of things to draw us in, and it works a lot of times. So if you spend your time in stores, it's really easy to get sucked into that stuff and spend money. And then half the time, I don't know about y'all, I don't even like the stuff I buy. I get home and I only wear it a couple times. I'm like, I don't even like that. I don't like how it fits. I don't like how it looks. I don't know what I was thinking. So stay away from shopping as much as possible if you're trying to get out of debt. Lastly, that's just kind of our debt journey. And I want to make sure as my kids grow up, because you know we have teenagers, they're getting on up there, that they think before they go into debt. I'm not saying I never want them to, because I want them to have a home. I want them to have a vehicle that's reliable and dependable. But at the same time, I want them to think about it more than we did about going into debt, and what a commitment that is that they're making. And if you have expensive tastes that you are sticking yourself in that job, you're getting yourself stuck there, I guess you'd say, that you don't like because you've took on these bills. So you need to think about, what lifestyle do I want, and what am I willing to do to get that? And if you want all the things that cost money, you just have to be willing to put in the time and work to pay for those things. And if you don't, you want a simpler lifestyle, that is okay too. And that's the message I want to communicate to my kids. And I just thought maybe one of y'all needs to hear it. My kids are coming upon the time to decide if they're going to college. And this may be controversial, but if they decide not to go, that is okay too. College is in this grand scheme of time and history of humanity, is a fairly new thing. And there's lots of really well-educated people that did not go and that make a good living. And there's still a calling to have trade jobs, and there always will be, in my opinion. So if they want to go, they have my full support, and I think that's great. But if they don't, there's nothing wrong with not starting yourself out in debt. And I know a lot of kids get scholarships, but I know as one of those kids, and just from other people I know, sometimes those scholarships are hard to keep. Yes, they'll give them out, but can you do what they're requiring to keep it? And so then you wind up in debt anyway. So I just want my kids to think long and hard before they start their life in debt, because it is a hard pit to crawl out of. It takes years of dedicated budgeting. And so I don't know why I even decided to share all this with you guys, but I did. It's where we are. That's the truth of it. We still owe money on the cows, so that's why you see us busting our hump trying to make a go of this, because we don't even have them fully paid for yet. So there you go. Hopefully later this year we will. That's the year for us. 2020 is get out of debt. We'd love to travel and see some of you at conferences, and we're just gonna have to wait and see at the time, because anywhere you go costs money. So that's that. I hope it meant something to you. It's just where we're at. and I will see you guys later. Join us tonight. We are going live. We're going to give y'all some stuff. We hope to see you there. Hope to fellowship with all of you. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. God bless.